Hey, welcome to This Week in Marketing, where Coach Jason Pantana and I help you modernize your marketing, build your brand, and ultimately win more business. This week, Jason will help you uncover your video creator style. Are you a long-form YouTuber or a short-form entertainer?
Welcome to This Week in Marketing. My name is Jason Pantana, and today we talk about video. Because I know, this is who I'm talking to. I know there's a lot of you who are thinking about 2022 as the year where I'm going to finally say yes. I'm going to get over my fears or resistance or whatever it is to video, and I'm going to dive headfirst all in on video marketing in 2022. And I believe that you absolutely should, because in my opinion, my humble but correct opinion, if I do say so myself, there has never been a medium for marketing that is more effective at positioning you as the know you, like you, trust you agent of choice than video. Like, a lot of agents are like, we think too much and talk too much about video. We're not Hollywood movie stars. And I'm like, that's old school thinking. Because reality is, I want to choose, as a marketer who is positioning my brand to win, I want to choose whatever marketing medium is going to give me the best edge to make me on the consideration set, to position me as the agent of choice with buyers and sellers. And I would tell you there's nothing like video to brand yourself. So I'm talking to the agent who's like, whatever that resistance is, I'm over it. I'm diving headfirst, going all in on video. And today's topic is 5 different video avatars. Because a lot of you are like, okay, I'm going to do it. What am I going to do? And I want to break down for you 5 different types of video creators. 5 video avatars so that you can get some ideas and inspiration to say, am I this one and this one and or this one? Ooh, I hate that one. Don't want to do that. I want to give you ideas so you have a starting point as you jump headfirst into video marketing. So let's dive into our conquest of these 5 types. Number 1, I call the home tour boss. And nobody comes to mind who I think better embodies or represents the home tour boss than Brad McCallum, Calgary realtor up in Alberta, Canada. If you've been on YouTube and you've watched Brad's videos, that dude is amazing at touring properties. Now, I'll admit it could be more than home tours. It could be also like neighborhood tours, walking tours, driving tours, local business tours, whatever. But like, one avatar type is amazing at touring things. The tour guide, basically. That's probably a better name for it. Let's scratch what we said. Let's call it the tour guide. Let's go back to Brad McCallum for a second. His listing videos, why I like them so much is because of his putting himself in the videos. He's actually done a lot of other videos on his channel where he'll like sit and talk to the camera like this, and he's very good at it, but it's not what his audience expects because he has built an audience around his ability to host listings. And it's not just about like $1 million properties. Some of the properties he tours, a lot of them are gorgeous and they definitely help, but some of them aren't. And yet those videos still perform because end of day, like, it's in the eye of the beholder. A property is in the eye of the beholder. So if you're in a marketplace where the houses aren't quite as dope as Brad's, that's not an excuse, in my opinion, because it's in the eye of the beholder. And what I want you to hear me saying in this avatar type is, it's not really about the property. It's really, if you watch this channel with Brad, it's really about how Brad tours the property and positions himself as the tour guide, as the host, as the agent of choice. Avatar 1 is now named the tour guide. Avatar number 2 is the knowledge broker. I've been asking this question a lot when I'm speaking at events. I've been asking agents, what do you sell? And I get a range of answers. I sell myself, I sell houses, and I'm like, wrong. Like, selling yourself is way too broad. You have to define exactly what it is people are purchasing from you when they choose to hire you as a buyer's agent, as a listing agent, whatever. Like, what's the reason, the grounds by which they said, I want to work with you? Because that's what you sell. And it's not houses, because it's their house and you sold their house for them, but they hired you to facilitate the transaction, right? They hired you, here's the answer, for your expertise and the means by which you convey that expertise. That's your value proposition, friends. That's what it is. And so if you think about it, when it comes to video marketing, if you want to promulgate and promote your message, what's the message? The message is my expertise, because that's the thing that's for sale. If you do that as being the knowledge broker, you are literally, every video you ever publish, as you're giving away free and useful information, you're actually selling your services. Only people are going to, instead of calling you salesy, they're going to thank you for it. And you know who comes to mind who really just crushes it with this knowledge broker vein of video creation is Taya DeCarlo in Manhattan Beach, LA. She's been doing a show for several years now, like 2 or 3 years, called Taya's 2 Cents, where she just so succinctly, so intelligently gives wonderful advice about real estate. And if you watch her show, you'll realize it's like 2 or 3 minute videos. And they're crushing thousands and thousands of views. They're not Reels, for instance, because this show started before Reels came out. But when you watch Taya Here's the thing I want you to realize. She's actually giving her opinions based on facts, not just facts. I see a lot of real estate agents making videos, basically what I call reading the dictionary. What's an escrow? Blah, blah, blah. And they just like define the terms. And that's a start. But if you watch Taya, it's really more about her opinions based on the facts. She's advising you. She's giving you a perspective, and people are subscribing to her thought leadership. And that's what it means to be a knowledge broker. They see the value in your thought leadership. Another good example of this is Katie Day. I like Katie Day's approach because instead of being like more intricate in her videos like Taya is, Katie basically films 1 day a month. She'll set up 2 hours, the video camera's rolling, the videographer has a sheet of questions, and they just rapid fire common and technical questions about real estate, and Katie just riffs answer after answer after answer. When the recording session's done, the video editor just slices and dices it, and she's basically got a 30-second reel. It's like, that's her limit, is like 30 seconds every day, where she's just giving advice. And she's also injecting her own perspective on the topic, and not just basically reading the dictionary and saying the definition of encroachment means blah, blah, blah. It's more than that. It's adding value beyond that. It's showing people that she's the knowledge broker. And another last example of the knowledge broker, just in terms of formats, is Jeremy Knight. Jeremy Knight on his Instagram page is doing a really good job where basically, let's say that a news headline from Zillow or from Market Watch or something like that comes across his iPhone. Well, he literally grabs his iPhone, he finds the article, he starts screen recording the article on his phone. He then goes into Reels, uses the little virtual green screen background, superimposes himself talking laid over top of that image of the article, and basically gives his advice and feedback about what the article means for his local marketplace. A lot of agents are struggling with, okay, I want to make video, Jason, but what am I supposed to make my videos about? What topic should I talk about? And if you do what Jeremy does, where he basically just reacts to news and headlines as it pertains to his local marketplace, he doesn't have to think of content ever. The content is just always going at him, because we are never short on news, are we, friends? He just reacts and reacts and reacts. And in so doing, he positions himself as the knowledge broker. Number 3 on the list is what we call search magnets. In other words, we're talking about SEO, search engine optimization. And I want you to think, more specifically, we're talking about YouTube, because if you look at YouTube, YouTube is like the last surviving, really, I should say last thriving. It's a thriving platform for long form content, because we have TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and all these short form, like really short attention span types of videos. But YouTube's different because it's a search engine. It's owned by Google. It's the second most popular website on the planet. The number one way people are consuming video content on YouTube is by using the search bar. Now think about characteristically the difference of somebody's intent. If I'm just mindlessly scrolling through the feed of Instagram and I stop to watch, it's like flipping channels at night. That's not really of intent. But if I go to YouTube and I type out a specific search phrase as if I'm looking for a video that addresses that topic, that really showcases my intent as a viewer, and therefore I'm willing to watch longer. Now that's kind of a crash course on the difference between like YouTube versus other social platforms, but take it from me. Please, I'm right. I know I'm right. Please trust me that viewers on YouTube are willing to watch for longer. And they also tend to have higher intent in terms of being ready to take action, whether it's buying, selling, or whatever. So you do the math. I think YouTube's a good play. Specifically, understanding what are the search terms that are rising or trending or popular in my local marketplace, like moving to blank, selling in blank, best neighborhoods in blank. Those types of search phrases that have a lot of search volume, where if I run the searches, the videos that rank in the results are honestly, I could beat them. I could do better. That's what I want you to do, is conduct an analysis and figure out what are the rising trends and searches that people are looking for content on YouTube that addresses a specific topic, but the videos that are there are really kind of lacking, and you could step in and own that space. That's what Jeremy Knight does on his YouTube channel. Jeremy Knight literally gets hundreds of thousands of views on his YouTube channel from people who are moving into the Austin, Texas market area. And he gets sellers too, but because he's a knowledge broker, we talked about him in the last section, but he gets leads all day, every day practically, because he just creates videos based upon what search demand is. And then people find his videos and reach out to him. Pretty darn simple. You might want to use a tool like TubeBuddy or vidIQ or some kind of a YouTube SEO tool that can help you figure out what are those trending searches. What are those keywords and phrases that I need to make sure that my titles are equipped to really rank when people type in those phrases in the search bar. But building search magnet videos is a smart play. Now you're probably thinking like, Jason, isn't that kind of like being a knowledge broker still? And I'm like, well, yes, it is. It's definitely a subset of being a knowledge broker still. But I put it in its own line, in its own avatar, because it's specifically for longer form, super niche type of content based upon trending search phrases on YouTube in your marketplace. If you're like tech savvy and you want to be an SEO boss, then you need to consider building some search magnets. Number 4 on the list is what I call goofs and spoofs. Now, here's the deal. If you see people like dancing and pointing to little text bubbles on Instagram Reels and TikTok and that kind of isn't your thing, I am not going to force you to dance the trending audio or do anything that isn't you, because ultimately it's your expertise and the means by which you convey that expertise that people are hiring you for. So I want you to stay true to yourself. That's super critical. So that you don't have to do this, but if you like these things, if you're funny, if maybe part of your personal brand is your humor and your approach and your lightheartedness, then absolutely you should step in and leverage what I call goofs and spoofs. And if you're looking for some inspiration, you should head over to the Instagram page of Jen Dillard, who heads up the Hood River real estate team, the Jen Dillard real estate team. It's a great name, Jen Dillard Real Estate Team. It's in Hood River, Oregon. And do you know how, as a real estate agent, like you could walk into a crowded restaurant and somebody like 3 tables over might utter the words real estate. And it could be loud and you could be in conversation, but all of a sudden, like activate your superhuman hearing. You just kind of hone in on that conversation and everything else around you is like Snoopy and you can't hear anything, but all you hear is them talking about real estate because that's just the way our brains work in this business. No, just me, not you. Come on, I know you do that. Anyways, Jen and her team creatively thought through, okay, what are some crazy, exaggerated circumstances where we can basically tell a story as if Jen overhears real estate or buying or selling a house, and we'll tell those stories. So for example, one of the stories was she was at yoga and it's super quiet and somebody starts talking about, hey, I'm gonna sell my house. And then Jen like sneaks up and hands her a business card and it's super funny and she does it in 30 seconds or less. And it's a reel and it gets so much engagement from both agents and friends, family, sphere of influence, followers, because it's funny. It's self-deprecating. And if you're looking for inspiration about how can I really leverage humor in my business in a way that attracts buyers, sellers, agent referrals, you should totally check out Jen Dillard's series on her Instagram page. Another super strong example of this is Chris Benjamin, Krys. Chris Benjamin out in LA. This dude makes epic videos. Specifically, he has 2 types of videos that kind of fall under this umbrella term of goofs and spoofs. One is sort of his quick answers, where Katie Day was more just like straight information with her perspective sort of overlaying it. But Chris, he'll do this series where he's typically in a costume and he's typically somewhere in the field or somewhere on a set. And somebody will be like, the camera will come up to him and he'll always be as if he's being interrupted. Oh, hey. And then he'll give you some kind of a factoid or nugget of information about real estate. And it's funny and it's goofy and it's endearing. Another example is he has some of the best situational humor videos I've seen, where he can just take like real estate situations that are not complete inside jokes to just agents, but that the consumer's in on the laughs too. And they're funny. And so if you're looking for some funny laughs, inspiration about what kinds of video you could make, you should totally look at Chris Benjamin. Final example for goofs and spoofs is That Mortgage Guy on TikTok, who is absolutely crushing it right now. What I love about what he's doing is he actually doesn't talk to any of it. All he does is he grabs and I don't want to it's amazing. It's strategic and smart, but he finds a trending audio clip. It could be a movie clip or a song clip or whatever. And he lip syncs to it with a caption that basically parallels the lyric or the clip with something happening in the mortgage industry. And it's just going viral. And because he uses trending audio, he's able to really kind of skip the line and get tons of reach, tons of views, and really he generates a lot of business off of his TikTok, a lot. So maybe you're the goofs and spoofs type, and that's your avatar. Or maybe you're more like what I call bestseller storyteller, like Glenda Baker. I mean, look no further than Glenda Baker as somebody who can really just spin yarn and tell a story about real estate. I'm talking to you if you're the agent who has great experiences and you just have a way of kind of bringing people together in conversation, telling stories about your experience with buyers and sellers in a way that doesn't make anybody get embarrassed. It doesn't violate confidentiality. It just brings people together for a great story. If that's you, if you're a bestseller storyteller, you should absolutely you probably already have, but you should absolutely check in on what Glenda Baker is doing on TikTok, on Instagram, and elsewhere, because her stories about real estate are just freaking epic. Now, that's 5 different video avatars that you could consider as inspirational starting points for your journey in video. But here's what I know. I know that video is the best marketing medium on the planet. And if you haven't leveraged it yet, you're not too late. Now is the time to figure out, okay, what's my video creation avatar? I gave you ideas today. Use them as ideas and inspiration for you to figure out who you are in video, in marketing, because ultimately, the thing you sell is your expertise and the means by which you convey it, and that part can only be defined by you. Nobody does you better than you. Thanks so much for watching This Week in Marketing. My name is Jason Pantana. I am a business coach and national speaker, and I really hope this training was useful for you, and I'd love to hear about what other topics you want us to cover in these weekly episodes. Leave a comment below.
Between now and 2025, all the great economists are saying the housing industry is going to continue to boom. So the question is, what are you building? This is the essence of my Blueprint event, where I ask you to take a few days away from your business and dream about the type of business you ultimately want to build. So to make your reservation, go to tomferry.com/blueprint. I look forward to seeing you at the event.